not going back to that old job that worked me too hard and didn't know my worth. I'm not going back to those old clothes that I wore. Amen. I'm not going back to the old neighborhood for drugs and alcohol. I'm not going back to the place of self-pity. I'm not going back to the place of woe is me. I'm going to press on, and we go through a lot of rocky roads raising our children. And they go through more rocky roads than we do, but we just don't realize it because of other emotions we have. But I remember, and I have to tell this one story, Jeramie, and I'm going to get out of the way. Because you're going to talk about your 5-year, what was it, 5-year punishment anyway, right? So anyway, Jeramie was acting different, just different. He's not a usual child. And I remember whooping Jeramie a lot. And one day God spoke to me and he said, don't you put your hands on him no more. And you're speaking to his life. Because everything ain't a demon, y'all. Hello, traditional people.
Amen.
Everything not a demon. Some things are the building of God in that child. He said, you stop calling out that stuff and you start speaking my word into him. And don't put your hands on him no more. And I said, God, you said if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. I was just, me and God in an argument. I mean, really in an argument because he was getting on my nerve. But I was obedient to God. And I stepped back and remembered he was just lent to me. I'm a steward over him. I'm not his owner.
That's right. That's yours.
So Jeramie got worse before he got better. He sent me through many days. In fact, I got a praying ministry. Where's my baby at? Praying ministry because of Jeramie. Okay? I got praying ministry. But at the end of the day, God said, if you leave him alone and pray for him, if you let me take care of him, I'll show you what I'll do with him.
Amen.
So he strayed, he went away, and he did all that other stuff. You know, you train up a child in the way he should go when his old won't depart from him. One day, Jeramie and I had been estranged for months. This just a few months ago, last year or something. So he went talking to me, and I text him, but I didn't have much to say because y'all wasn't lining up with what I thought y'all to be lining up with. And I didn't have nothing to say, so I wasn't saying nothing at all. 6 months. Mother, one day I got a call. Jeramie said, what you doing, Mom? I said, I'm at home minding my own business. What you doing? He said, I'm around the corner. I'll be there in a minute. So I said, okay. So he got in the door. I said, you hungry? He said, no, I want to sit down and talk to you. Then he asked me this, what? He always been a child that go, what, when, where, why, how? Mama, why you do this? And Mama, how come you made that decision? And Mama, why did you do it this way? Mama. So at any rate, what happened was, I told Jeramie, I said, Jeramie, God got a divine order to everything. And if we would follow that divine order, everything would line up in my life, in your life, and your family's life. He's a family dedicated man though. He married young. He has 6 kids and gave me 6, no, how many grandchildren? You got 3? Oh, not all of them yours, all right, 3. 3. 3. Yeah, but he's the most loving child in the world. No matter what I asked Jeramie to do, Jeramie would do it. We had that talk about Jesus obeying Mary, and people laugh about it. But the truth about the matter is, when Jesus was in the temple, Jesus' parents asked him, he said, didn't you know we was looking for you, boy? You've been out here 3 days. We've been hunting for you. You ain't been home. What's up? That's what, am I in the book? Am I in the book? If I'm wrong, straighten me out. Straighten me out. Did he say that? He said, didn't you know I had to be in my Father's temple?
Amen.
I had to be in a place where I could learn and grow in wisdom and knowledge. Mary said, that's cool. Come on, let's go. And they went home. We didn't hear from Jesus no more for 18 years. I had to think about that thing. Because Jesus had to learn how to be obedient in the earthly realm. And what God does is he honors children.
Amen.
When they're obedient in the earthly realm.
Amen.
And they get an overflow when they're obedient.
Amen.
In the spiritual realm. So to some, I want to present to some. And I want to